Hey guys, it's Tracy. I want to share with you some cards that I made today and some that I'm going to share I made over several months ago. So let me show you the sympathy cards I made today. So I made these 4 cards here because I need one like right now. So I decided to do 3 more, and they measure 4¼ by 5½, and I use the 110-pound cardstock by Recollections. It was the cream base, and I use this sentiment here, which I had scanned into my Silhouette Cameo back in April for another card that I had to make, and then printed it on my brother machine, which has ink toner, and I was able to foil that using my Scott's laminator. And I used my Martha Stewart punch to create the butterflies, which is this one. And then I use rhinestones, which are the tiniest ones in this pack here. And then I used some square foams to pop the sentiment up. So I sprayed these cards, which measure 4¼ by 5½, with my homemade shimmer spray. I popped the sentiment up. The sentiment is sitting on 3 mattings, the first being 1½ by 2½ inches, the second 1 5/8 by 2 5/8, and the third 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then what I did for the inside, I just cut a paper out that was 1/4 of an inch shorter all the way around, and then score that in half, and then adhered it to the inside. Haven't added any of the inside sentiments yet. And then here's the back. And I made another one, but the back paper is different. So then here are the other 2, and they're exactly the same as far as the back paper. So that's that one. Again, no sentiments on the inside. So then more recently, I made, let me show you these cards, because Emma, who is the owner of My Creative Time, before she releases new items, she has a blog hop, and her design team creates different projects. So I'm not sure when they did the blog hop for this, but I have found that on her blog and decided to create some cards. So I did these. Wait a minute, there's one more. There it is. Okay. So I created these 3 cards, and this is one of Emma's dies. And let me see, which one is it in? And it's from this stamp set, and there's the die up at the top there. MCT162, because I don't see maybe it's called Happy Thoughts. But that stamp set, the stamp was in there too. It's your day, and the die, smile. So let me show you. And then for the cameras, I use these dies right here, which is the Stitch Camera die MCT D37, and the layer die, which is MCT D89. So use those. They're real simple. I sprayed it with my shimmer spray. And the paper collection that I use for that, I don't have that with me, but I'm quite sure if you guys look at that paper collection looks familiar. Here's the inside. There's the back. Here's the inside. The back. Then I went with one that had busier patterns on it. And I just didn't stamp It's Your Day down here because it would really get lost. So there's the inside, and there's the back. So that's those 3 cards. And then I made this one. And I believe I saw this on Pinterest. And here's that small die again. And for the little camera here, I used this set by My Creative Time. And you know what? I might have seen this on Pinterest. Yeah, I think it was Pinterest under My Creative Time. There's a page out there with different products that projects people created from Emma's products. So I think that's where I found that at. So when I use that die right there, and that is Picture Perfect MCT 178. And then I use some We Are Memory Keepers vellum. And what I did was cut two of each and I sandwiched the vellum in between. And then these little clothespins, I had those in my stash and I just hot glued them. Then this is some twine that I had in my stash. And here's the inside. And this was going to be a sample card, so I just grabbed the Georgia Pacific card stock, which is supposed to be 110 pound, but no way is that. I think that is false advertisement, because if you compare that, the weight of that paper to this paper, the recollection is no way. It doesn't touch that paper at all. And this paper used to always be my go-to paper for cards because it was thick, but they did something to this paper. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox. And here's the back. And then what I did, if you can see, there is stitching around it. And I used this die here, this lawn fawn die. And that was I recently picked up some, well, not that recent, a lawn fawn haul, and I'll share that later. But here's that card. Okay, let's see what else I have here. These two cards here, I just was going through cleaning up some old, like a box that I had paper. Was creating some cards a while ago, and I still have paper left over and like the card bases. So I said, well, let me see what I have in my stash that will go with the cards that are already cut. So I found some embellishments that Betty had given me, and Betty is known as Scrap Passion 01 here on YouTube, that she had given me maybe a couple years ago when we had did a swap. So, and these are the pieces she gave me. So I just cut some vellum just to add some interest to it and created a quick card. And I used this Dynamics die for the vellum, and I had that a while. And it's the oval decorative doily, so I used that one. So nothing in the inside, nothing on the back. And here's another one. And I sprayed it with my shimmer spray. And we just need a quick card. And then there's another one. And I used this embellishment. Betty also gave me this in our swap. So again, this is leftover pieces of paper that I had. So I put this card together. It's just plain. So that's those. Then I think this is the card that I had made the longest, that I made a while ago. And I used my 123 punch board to create this envelope. And they have an app that you can download for that 123 punch board, and you just enter in your measurements, and it'll tell you what size base you need to start out with to create your envelope. So that's what I use for that, because this card right here, because this piece sticking up, see, it's sticking out, it makes for a odd size card. So I was able to use that app to create the card. So this is one of those banner pieces that Michael's had, and I just wanted to create something with that several months ago. And for the sentiment here, I used, again, for my creative time, this die, and I just cut the wording away from the frame. And this is MCT D99. And I wanted some paint strokes, and when I looked through my stash, I didn't have any. The only thing I had that resembled sort of like paint, dripping paint, was this right here. I don't know how well you can see it. So I just took my brush and stroked it on. Took some different color paints and flicked the paint on here. Added the rhinestones. And this is the Recollections corrugated card base. And I just dry brushed some white paint. And then here's the inside. And I did receive in a swap these pieces too, and I haven't used them yet, but I just wanted to put that card together because again, I don't know, I just had a Jean kind of moment. So that's that. Then I made, more recently, I made these 3 cards I'm going to share with you. So let me show you this one. And this is from a pretty recent release from My Creative Time. And it was Hello Baby. So I used, so as you can see here, used those 2 stamps. And I just stamped them out on printed paper. This I did, and this was just regular cardstock. And I paper pieced the white pieces that you see. And the Welcome Little One. Yeah, that's right here. Came from this set too. And this is a, where is it? La La Land die for the banner. And then for the little tiny ribbons, bows there, I used the waffle flower die. Then this is the inside. Then there's the back. And I created this one. Oh, and a smile sentiment. I think I did show you guys that, didn't I? The smile sentiment came from this, and It's Your Day from those other cards down here. If I didn't. Like It's Your Day and Smile came from this sentiment. Came from this stack. Happy Thoughts from My Creative Time. And so to create, so I created this card right here. Where's my, that came from, oh, I dropped it. I had picked up this stamp set from Glitzy a while ago. And that, and there's some pieces I have. I don't know what this is called. But anyway, here is that card. Paper pieced it. And then again, here's that little, what do you call it? Ribbon or bow. And here's the inside. And there's the back. And then I have one more card. And this card right here got inspiration from this card. Because again, I had scraps of paper laying around. I just wanted to see what I can do with it. So I happened to see that sitting there. And I said, oh, well, let me use this to create a card. So that's what I did. So this one I had showed a while back. So for this frame here, I used My Creative Time, and it was this Stitch Mini Frames and Arrow die, MCT D31. So created that. I just added some sequins from my stash. And I have a stamp set that has Happy Birthday really small. And then these little candles, they came from a Technique Tuesday stamp set. It was for the pull tab die. Well, it's a strip of stamps, so I just inked up one of the little candles and stamped that on there since they were really tiny and was perfect for these little banners. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here yet. I want to put something else in here to add a little bit more life to the card, because to me, because it's has those cream undertones, it makes it's a little too dark for me, even though I like vintage. But I don't know, it just seems like it needs something else to brighten it up. And then here's the inside. I just added a strip of banner paper there, and then you see banner paper on the back. And then I also did use this die too. What these, I believe it was for this card. Yeah, for this right here. For this piece and the back piece. Alright guys, so that is my card share. I know it's a long video, but again, I haven't been posting these projects because I just didn't feel like setting up my camera. Alright guys, so if you have any questions, leave me a comment. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Bye.